Okay, coronavirus video blog number, God knows how many we're up to now. This one actually will be a bit more positive than some of them have been, thankfully. And the reason I say that is because it's kind of on the topic of, are we possibly now through, or at least very close to, the end of the worst phase of the coronavirus crisis? Now, I'll make no apologies for saying I'm talking very much about this from an economic standpoint. Of course, there's a much bigger health issue to consider, but I'm going to leave that to obviously people far more qualified than I to comment. But in terms of the economy, and obviously the massive impact it's had on the economy, I definitely feel in the last week or two, when I talk to various companies across lots of sectors within the industry, particularly the media and the sales industries that I tend to cover, whereas 3 or 4 weeks ago, almost every conversation was really about kind of free fall, and we were using phrases like gone off a cliff and don't know where the bottom is, Mark, and where will this all end up. There was that real sense of genuine fear and uncertainty that almost anything seemed possible. And I definitely feel the last week or two we're looking at situations now where the discussions are much more about where we kind of feel like we've seen the bottom, we know where we're at. There have obviously a lot of measures been brought in by government, in Australia where I am, but obviously I think most Western countries have clearly taken a lot of federal and government action to underpin, economic problems. So that's coming through. I think it's starting to happen, but even when it hasn't yet perhaps started to come through in terms of finance, I think psychologically it's made a big difference. And definitely when I talk to companies now, we're able to have those sort of perhaps more mature conversations where we're talking about, yes, there's no question there's a massive impact has happened, but almost every company, once you sort of dig a little bit deeper, you find that there are sort of, if you like, sub-markets or sub-sectors, sub-verticals where things are going quite well, where actually there is quite a lot of spending going on, there's a lot of economic activity still taking place. Now that doesn't mean that it's going to balance out the areas that have really been hammered, and no one, least of all me, is claiming otherwise. But I don't think there's any doubt, certainly in my mind, that almost everyone I talk to now feels significantly more positive than they did a few weeks ago. Now, does that mean that we're back to where we want to be? No, of course not. That's still quite a long way off, I guess, and it would be a guess. But I think the reality is the mood has changed significantly, and those of us who've been around in business for a while, and that definitely includes me, know that mood and sentiment is so crucial. It's not just the if you like, the fundamentals, the things you can measure in terms of sort of, as it were, dollars and cents or percentages of growth or decline. It's also just mood and attitude and I say confidence, both of businesses and as individuals that sort of head up those businesses, and that's definitely picking up. So look, it's tentative, still a lot of finger crossing going on, of course, but it definitely feels like we're through the worst, and now we're beginning to sort of plot that path to recovery. So no matter how tough it's been for you as an individual, and in a lot of cases for a lot of us it's been very tough, hang in there. This too shall pass, and all those other trite cliches, but they are cliches for a reason. They are, they do contain kernels of truth. And I think it's important that we all cling to that and recognise that we are definitely moving in the right direction, at least. So hang in there, stay strong and stay safe.